Now then, there aren't many opportunities to take up sport for free, and yet, Paul Jessop, you've got some ideas for us, haven't you? What would you like us to take up for free?
Yes, well, I'd certainly like to see you all pick up a tennis racket and come down to one of our free tennis sessions that we run each week around various park sites in the UK, and one not too far from yourselves in Devon Park.
Now, how can this be tennis for free?
Well, we were a charity set up back in 2004, and quite simply with the aim of getting as many people playing on public park courts as possible, based on the notion of trying to increase, the sport in this country. Obviously, tennis numbers have dwindled in the past, and the charity really wanted to address this. And as I say, getting as many people playing tennis on public park courts was the charity's main aim. And we've worked with a number of providers, and we've had some sponsors and supporters, and we're able to run free coaching sessions at various sites. As I say, and that is essentially to try and get people trying out the sport. And then there are a number of other pathways and sessions at the various parks that they can go on to, which have a small fee to be sustainable.
Paul, do you really think it was the cost of tennis that put a lot of people off?
I think in certain parts of the country that is the case. Obviously, the more affluent areas, not so much. But certainly, it's not so much the cost factor, but also the hassle factor of it. Obviously, if you've got to find a few quid in your pocket, and then you've got to go and find a park ranger who's going to be hunting you down, and you've got to go to a hut the other side of the park to have a game of tennis, then it's all a bit prohibitive. And I think by simply having park courts available to walk on and play free of charge, enables, just a very easy environment for people to try out tennis. And so if you were to watch, say, for example, a game of tennis on the TV, perhaps at Wimbledon, you think, I'd like to enjoy this, and then go down to the local park court and have a game free, then obviously it's something that's easy to do, and that perhaps will get you enthusiastic about tennis. Just very quickly on the other point on that charge, and it's not necessarily an individual charge, but if you were to get interested in tennis and then you wanted to play another, 10 times, then realistically that could cost you 50 quid if you were playing on park courts that were charged. So then suddenly when you start adding those individual costs up, it does get expensive. So yes, I do think that tennis with a charge can put a lot of people off. And is your scheme literally for any age group, or are you particularly keen to see certain ages playing? We're trying to get everybody, families, everybody, all ages, all backgrounds, coming along to our sessions, and they're essentially a 2-hour session at a particular coaching site at a park of a weekend, and that can be on a Saturday or a Sunday, depending on which site. And then everybody will come down, mum, dad, 2 kids, and the coaches on that session will divvy up the groups according to the standard, and linked to the age as well. And so everybody can play, everybody can enjoy the tennis on offer. And as I say, from there, they can learn about more tennis options that the coaches will have on board for them. Lovely stuff. And how many people do you think you can get playing, say, over the next 3 months or so? Well, our sites tend to get anything from, in the colder months like now, perhaps 30 people coming along to a site across all ages, right the way through to, say, 90 plus at some of the sites in the heat of the summer around Wimbledon time. And on the courts down at Devon Park, which I think is your nearest site, there are 3 courts there, which, as I say, cater for all different ages. There's a coach on each court, and they'll split the courts up. But that's run in partnership with Plymouth City Council Sports Development Unit, and as I say, with all our schemes, we obviously link with partners to bring about the best service. Lovely stuff. Well, keep up the good work. Paul Jessop, tennis for free. Fancy it? I'm sure he'd be very, very pleased to hear from you.
Time for the Challenge of News. It's